Testy, 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 test. Testy, 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 test. Okay, let's see. Yay. All right. Air probe. All right. Let me make sure everything's here. All right, let's go ahead and start. Let me put this over here. Anyways, so today we're working on the V1 again. This one's with all the bells and whistles. I'm actually going to attach the newest thing that Bear came out with, which is our I turned off. Wonder why. Same. Oh, anyways. So it has or just like a little wireless probe setup. So this has another ESP32, which you can get for a few, like 11 bucks at most if you just buy one, or you can buy 3 of them for like, or full 5 of them for $21. Anyways, so you have the wireless probe. This whole setup is pretty much it. And then you have like a thermocouple connected to a max amplifier connected to an ESP32 that is wirelessly connected to another ESP32. And that sends information as it's like an environmental temperature probe. So just imagine it's like another form of telemetry. If you wanted to add like a environmental temperature probe, yeah, you could just drill a hole in the back, put a probe in, a thermocouple, and then you could use this whole setup and you'd have another ET probe if you really wanted to, environmental temperature probe. That's one way of doing it. And this was made by our neighborhood Bear. He made this mod pretty recently, so big up to him. So I'll go ahead and I'll show you how I'm going to install this one. I'm using it right now to do a lot of temperature measurements for the V1 motor, and I kind of just want to solidify and show everyone that during roasting it actually gets this hot. So I got to make sure I have the tape for it. So what I'm going to do is just get this little thermocouple, and I'm going to attach it to the body of the drum motor, and I'll kind of show you how hot this thing gets. So I'm trying to finally release all this stuff, so hopefully it comes out soon and the drum motor doesn't go too crazy. Basically, I just want the drum motor to stay underneath 80 degrees Celsius if we can. And so far, without a fan, it gets up to like 100. So my biggest dilemma right now. Like you get through one roast. You can get through one roast with it, but after that, it becomes like a big problem. Almost like, I want to say like, the main reason why it's overheating is that motor and the heat and where it's located. But let's pop this open. Take out the bottom part. Ugh. That's my hilariously large fan. If I could just pull this out, turn that, there you go. I guess I gotta take the whole thing out. I'll take the whole thing out. I'm pulling this off, and so this is like this is basically like a big old server fan. And I can usually cool the beans within like under 2 minutes, I think now. Good. This is the back of the coffin, and it has a fan in here to blow onto that drum motor right there. And this is like the modified drum motor. All right. So now it's time to. Works. I'm gonna feed this into here, into this back panel. And we're just gonna use good old Captain tape to make sure this stays cool. And then we'll put this back together and we'll roast with it, assuming everything works. So this is a variable speed V1. And it still can use the original controller, which I tried my best to keep it that way in case I have fans of the controller. All right. Good. So press this back in. All right, so I'm going to put this back together. Make sure I get the top on first. Oh, okay. So you just ordered your first, your Skywalker. I say first. You ordered your first roaster, or is this just? Someone just said they ordered the first roaster last week, a Skywalker V1, and he can't wait. Yeah, it's a fun little piece of equipment. I'm really a huge fan of the price, to be honest. Well, price and the value that you get out of it. But I mostly pretty much like the community a whole lot. Very helpful. So this is where I drilled a hole so I could control my my motor speed. There's like a little controller board in the back that's connected to the that coffin. So, but this is where my thermal thermocouple is going to come out of. We'll see if it's a good idea or not. I already want to switch the position of it, but I don't want to mess with it. I just want to get roasting with it. Nice. All right. Yeah, the Arduino controller there's nothing wrong with it. I think it's I would say that'd be the best way to do it, just because it's a serial connection, and you're always going to have a better connection with serial. Every time you do anything wireless, there's a chance that it's going to disconnect on you, for whatever reason. So that's kind of the crappy part about them. But since BLE is so stable, it's like not too big of an issue, but I get it. I wouldn't want to deal with all that. You could tell this is my extra customized unit. So it literally has like a thermal couple coming out of every freaking hole. So there's a thermal couple right here, and I use that to measure my exhaust temperature probe. Like my exhaust port, I measure exhaust temperature through there. I'll one day like study it and see what happens like over time with it. But right now I just want to install it just in case I wanted to look into it more. Put this back together. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. This fan needs to be connected here. I'm using Wagos to connect all my wire connections. That's how you know you're fancy. You use Wagos. Right, so got the, oh, I need to install that. Okay. Oh. Yeah, feels pretty janky. Yeah, if you have a 3D printer, it kind of helps with it, but honestly, you can do artisan connection wirelessly through the BLE bridge. So it's two, you would just buy two ESP32, and then one would just act, it would pretend like it's being like it's a serial connection. So you could have one just pressed up in here and then one right on the computer, and it just connects really quick. It does a better job, I think, than how, what's it called, Kaleido and the other name, the Skywalker, or how we implemented it in terms of like connecting to Artisan. And there's other firmware out there that you can use that will connect via Wi-Fi too, if you wanted to. Like there's whole different ways you can connect Artisan to the Skywalker. There's one board where you could find like 4 different ways to connect it. So you could do BLE bridge, classic Bluetooth, serial connection, and Wi-Fi. and it's on the bigger board. We called it cross or something like that. But yeah, if you get it like the Arduino does thing, it just looks ugly. But with the power of a 3D printer, you could print out a little case, and then I used to Velcro mine in the back, and then I would never care about it. Although it didn't get that much interference because it wasn't wireless, so. Gentle. I don't like tugging on wires anymore. I learned my lesson. I do let them dangle. There's a high probability that I'm gonna probably fry the board with this model just because of that big server fan I have in the back, and it's literally running off of that 24 volt, like small little trace lines on the PCB. So and it's gonna run like 32 watts through that. Not the greatest idea, but whatever. Yeah, you could buy a small case. Yeah, tugging gets to me all the freaking time. So this is another way to connect the Skywalker again is you could get one of these M5 styled what's it called, M5 dial stacks, and you could use it for either Q-Bean or Skywalker. Bear set it up for both. It's just nice. I guess it's nice to have access as a separate controller, so if all things go wrong, you could you can control, like if the wire connection goes away, you can actually control the roaster through here. We actually did have it set up to graph, like ROR and everything, but the screen is so small that I think Bear thought it was just silly. But yeah, one day I was roasting with just like trying to track ROR with this small screen. It was wild, but. Oh, actually, what I should have done, when you set up the probe, that has to turn on first. So I'll unplug it from there. And then I'm gonna plug the probe in first. That's another thing I gotta figure out is how I'm gonna case this thing, because I'm gonna put a battery with it and it's gonna look super ugly. Right now it looks awful. Right, so I plugged the probe in. That's sending out like whatever signal through Bluetooth, BLE, Bluetooth Low Energy. Then I plug this in. It's Skywalker. That won't show you ET, but it'll show ET on the app. So let's turn on the app through my phone, my iPhone, my tablet. Doesn't work that way. Okay. All right, so let's add this bad boy in. So I'm using, there's a new update to High Beam as well. I think we got the latest version. So I added that in already. So if you haven't updated it, maybe you might want to. You know, I'm still trying to figure out a good protocol for back-to-back rows for the motor. It's really just for the motor, because I'm I'm more worried about the motor cooling down than the actual like metal properties or whatever. You could get really into the minutia of it, but honestly, I'm more focused on how can I make the roaster last a little bit longer. So what I tell people, just to be safe, is to make sure it cools down the motor. So it might take like maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes between each roast. But what I do is I just send it. I'll load up, I'll drop the beans, I'll load up another batch, and then I'll get ready till those beans cool off, which usually takes about 5 minutes, and then I'll charge the next batch in. But I'm making sure I turn off the cooling fan. So that's what I do personally. Yeah. But you should probably wait maybe 5 to 10 minutes to cool off the drum motor. And we're gonna find out today how hot this drum motor gets. Let me add it in. Skywalker, comms, Skywalker M5 dial. That's complete, and we shall bean temperatures on there. So I didn't even make sure it works. ET's on. Perfect. So 20.8, 20.5. So definitely two different things. I'm really surprised how well that works. Like, you don't understand like the amount of work that Bear put into this for free. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, just to get that environmental temperature, and it's wireless. I got it to the point where I could unplug it. We'll watch the temperature. I'll unplug it from here. Temperature should go away. It should say 0 soon. And then I can put it in here. I plugged it to my phone. It should come back on. There it is. Now it's technically a wireless probe. Like, it's not connected to my computer. It's connected to my cell phone now, and just using the battery off of there. Neat. Is it practical? I don't know. But if you're using it for testing certain things, it might be pretty cool. But yeah, literally you could add a ET probe pretty easily now. Let's warm this up. Make sure everything works first. That turned on. That's good. Drum on. Too slow. Full speed drum. I'm gonna slow it down. I just have a manual control in the back. It keeps restarting. Loose wire somewhere. Oh, that's not 8 degrees Celsius. Let me check what's going on with my probe. Interesting. Resetting.
degrees Celsius.
Maybe if I need to put it at full speed. That's not working. There's a lot of things not working right now. I'm thinking my wiring in the back. Let's go check the back, see what's going on with the wiring. Dirty. Look at the wiring maybe later. Oh, probably snagged on something. That looks good. That's fine. And it's getting stuck. Well, that's a bummer. All right, let me check this out again. This might be the issue. Oh, let me plug that back in too. A little strong, a little strong there. Okay, maybe that was it. Oh, here's a kind of an issue with the drum thing. I got to turn this setting off so I can flip this back and forth. Okay.
degrees Celsius.
Okay. Well, it's running now. Let's see if it has any issues. Let me flip it around. Something's tripping it up. Oh, is it when it goes to 100? Yeah, every time it hits 100, it keeps restarting. I turn it off. All right, well, I'm gonna turn around. I guess I'm gonna start a roast with it. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. I turned it off. Oh. Turn it off fully. Turn this around. All right, let's turn this around. Oh, hot, 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 hot. Exactly. Yeah. When that turns on, huh? Okay. All right. I'm gonna figure this out. Oh, let me put all this stuff on. Okay. All right. This up. I'm gonna warm it up. See how this roasts on this roaster. See what my issues are. I think that's wrong. I think this probe is off. Let me see. I'm gonna check this thermocouple in the back. See how accurate it is. Yeah. Let me plug this real quick. It should give it some weird temperature, and I'll put these back on. Changing probes mid roast or mid pre-warm up. Oh, this one's good. I don't know how good that probe is. I think I gotta buy some more thermocouple probes. That works. It doesn't like it when you turn that on and off. I wonder why. Okay. All right, so now I'm gonna go check this, make sure this is all good. I'll let that warm up. Okay. I don't like that. That's what I'm getting. Okay, that's not working. That's working. We'll see what's working. Still have 49, so that's not working. This probe is buggered. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. I should use my wire strippers. Here's my wire strippers. Open these wires up a little bit. All right, some of those just the connector issue. Okay. Oh, can you stay underneath 77 degrees? I guess we'll find out. There's no load on it yet, so I think it's warmed up just enough. I got some old beans I'm gonna try out. I don't like the stack of old beans. I just need to get rid of. Costa Rican coffee is known for balance, sweetness, and acidity, punchy bitterness that can be dialed up with roast development. Cool. I'm gonna put 350 on this. So from what it looks like the fan's doing a pretty good job holding the temperature of the drum motor, because that's where the ET's at right now. So let me go ahead. I'll fill this up. We'll do 450 grams. Fuck it. This is usually 450 grams with the beans. Slow it down a little bit. I'm gonna raise it up a little bit faster. Okay, all right. I just want to see how well this does. 450. Oh, I should put one of those in. 450 grams. I gotta put one of these metal trays in. Ugh. It doesn't like it when I hit the heat button. Something with that this the thyristor, something's going on over there. Because it keeps stopping every time I hit the heat button. So drum motor's up to 79 degrees Celsius. Not ideal. But not terrible. I'm gonna wait till it goes down. I'm gonna drop beans. I'm gonna start at 70. Start at 80. Now I gotta put 80 degrees at the body of the motor. So now I'm gonna just gotta make sure it doesn't get like, I guess past 85 or 90. We'll see. We haven't even done a roast yet. And then I might have to get really serious about cooling the motor. That's gonna be like the biggest issue. I don't know why he does that. So I got my seasoning beans in here. I'm gonna drop them in, see how this goes. Yeah, it's gonna check up to 90. Get it to 200 degrees, then I'll do a drop.
Preheat ended. Turn off PID.
So this is 400, about 450 grams of beans. Usually like they're like 450, 451 grams. I probably shouldn't have grabbed ROR, but it's okay. Oh, for EP, because it's not environmental temperature probe. There it goes. It hit that 90, that motor temperature. Yeah, once it hits 90, it cuts it off. So we'll push that forward. So there lies what the problem with adding this brushless motor is how to cool it properly. You might be able to get through one roast, but it'll usually die like that. Because 90 degrees is when the motor actually it stops functioning. I'm gonna try to cool it off like this. Yeah. So if you notice right there, as soon as I kicked on the cooler, the motor turned back on, and that's because it cooled the motor off that way. What to do. That's a bummer. And then I gotta open it up, check to see if there's any damage to the case as well. And that's why it's hard to add this drum motor. I think I literally have to go find another drum motor that works a little bit better than the one I've been speccing out. It's a multifaceted issue. I have no idea if it's because I'm cooling off the motor with a fan that's dedicated to blowing air onto it. I don't don't know. Back to the drawing board. I might have to respec another motor for this. I know I bought a bunch of these motors, but I don't know. Does it make sense to try and fix this issue? Or using the same motor. I might have to eat it or warm it up from like make a hole directly to that motor and then cool it off that way. But if I'm going to do that, I might as well just make a hole and use the planetary motors that everybody's using. So it's like a big, not big decisions. Hard to say what to do.
Automation triggered. Cool flow. Turn on cooling fan.
Let's try this again. Ugh. Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna lose that one for now. Go to device, we'll start roasting again. I just want to see how fast it gets to 90 and what I can do to fix that. I might actually have to replace that motor too. Maybe it's already just done with. What's this? All right, try it again. All right. Let's just hope and pray that this motor can take it, not go up to 90 degrees Celsius, but I'm pretty sure it's going to go back up there. Yeah, it's already dying as we speak.
Turning point detected.
Hasn't turned off yet. Maybe it's a wiring issue. I don't know. All right, it's going up to 91, so it's not shutting it off automatically. The motor's technically supposed to shut off at 90 degrees like it did before, but it's still going, so I might be maybe a wiring issue in the back. Sorry, I'm messing up this whole roast. Let's drop it to 60. Make it a good decline. I'm not doing a very good job with this roast, but I'm just using it as my seasoning beans, so I'll still taste them out of curiosity. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. The motor should be turning off. It's supposed to turn off at 90 degrees. I won't complain. But that just means I have to do more testing. That's what basically it means. I got to redo all the wiring, retest it, make sure everything's working right. I'm gonna actually do another unit and strip that down just to the basic motor and the case. Right now, there's no issue. I don't know why. Motor is 94 degrees Celsius. Right now it's drawing about 4 amps. No, right. Oh my god, about 4 amps. It's about. Is it really 1500 watts? Oh, 484 watts. I should move this out the way. Today I'm actually testing out I'm trying to get the drum motor set up for the brushless motor. So I'm measuring temperature at EP. Right now it's kind of hot. It's like at 95 degrees Celsius, which I think is supposed to overheat the brushless motor. And it did stop once at 90 degrees Celsius, but it came back on. I'm not sure why it's back on now. So I think I might have just a wiring issue in the back. So basically I gotta do more tests. I was hoping I could maybe release everything, but I don't know. I still don't trust it for a complete roast, even though it's doing a roast right now. So right now it has like a different motor in it. It's similar to this one. Yeah, that's the motor upgrade I'm mentioning. I have another brand that's all metal. This one has a plastic gear in it. So that's why I don't like recommending it, even though it is the V2 one that came straight from the factory. But now I hooked it up, but I think I have a wiring issue because it was stopping and going for a little bit. But all that stopped right now. I don't know why. But it's running just fine. It was running really weird just a minute ago. Like it was turning off and on, but now it's going pretty good. It's 96 degrees Celsius at the body of the drum motor. It's supposed to shut off at 90 from what people are telling me, but it's still going. I'm not really doing much other than just kind of pretending like how I'd be doing a roast. Another big thing is I want to open it up and see what the plastic case I printed out too looks like, because you can't really run this mod unless you have something cooling the motor. Right now there's a fan in there cooling it off. Oh, there it goes. It's dying. Yep, there it goes. But if I cool it off, yeah. That motor's toast. Pull out hot air and cool air in the back fins. I'll try that. I'm willing to try anything, but I don't know. I need to buy cheaper beans. These are ones I found in the back. But yeah, this motor's dead now. That's 37 watts. That's just straight coming from this fan. Yep. That's what I'm wondering too. I haven't smelled the plastic yet from the ABS in the back. It did turn back on. Now I got to figure out. Trying to figure out with this motor. I'm gonna let this big fan run for a little bit because I haven't really tested it out. It's using the traces off of the original board, which are super thin. Probably not a good idea. So those are only used to like what, 0.5 milliamps? Lord only knows how many amps I'm pulling through them. All right. Pull out hot air. Yeah, maybe you're right. I'll set up a fan that way next time. Right now it's just pulling hot air. I'll have to turn it around. I might try a new motor too, just because this one I'm pretty sure is done. Let me turn it around. Yeah, that pulled about 32 amps. Okay, or 32 watts. All right. Oh, where is this fun? It does that too. It is a wiring issue. Now I gotta double check if the back of that plastic ABS case is melted, so I think that should be thoroughly cool. I'm gonna let that run so I can cool off the back a little bit. Ow, ow, the fan. It got me. That should be good enough. I'm gonna pull this off. Also, if that motor is 96 degrees, Gauss transition phase of ABS filament is like 80 degrees Celsius, so there should be some warping. But we'll see. There's another bigger motor that I want to try out. I heard it's a little noisy, but that might be the only thing that can work. Then I have to start looking into stepper motors. Or not stepper motors, planetary motors. I saw a recent video of somebody opening up a roast and they use Wagos, so I feel pretty cool now. They're using Wagos, and Skywalker is using Wagos. It must be fancy. Oh, these are Wagos, by the way. Wagos are. So right now it's set up to where it pulls cold air from here, like room air, and then Mr. No one was talking about putting maybe another fan out here to suck it out. And over here, or maybe up here, I don't know. Somewhere. It is hot as hell. Okay. Let me get my... Oh, I guess I'll use this. The motor kind of cooled off. Is it around 60 degrees Celsius? I'm using one of my FLIR. Right here? I think I always forget that there's a fan here. Or well, that'll pull air from the other side. Top right over here, or here. Okay, so right there. Like put a little. So it's sucking air from here. Let's pull this out. I'm gonna have to take this apart anyways and go through it. I gotta go to Captain's Coffee and buy some more beans. I'll buy some seasoning beans from him. So that looks fine. This case actually looks pretty good. It's not. The biggest issue is just cooling that motor. Oh yeah, 71 degrees Celsius. I wonder if the heatsink is even doing anything. I'm pointing right at the heatsink. It gets like all red. And that's the part that holds the drivers. So I'm wondering if maybe I'm using the heatsink wrong. Let me make sure is this fan even turning on? Oh, that fan is doing nothing. Really? That's all you're doing? What if I ditch this thing? It's not really dissipating heat that well. That fan's absolutely doing nothing. It's 11:30. I'm picking my kids soon. Okay, so our biggest issue is this. And this is, and it's further away from the fan, so it's definitely not getting cooled off. And I thought that heatsink was like helping dissipate heat, but if the hot air has nowhere to go and it's just kind of trapped in there, I think Mr. No One's right. I gotta create like a little cold air, hot air situation going on, but come on. Yeah, that's the cylinder of, oh god. It's still like resting at 61 degrees Celsius. I'm pretty sure the thing was over 100. But that's where the drivers are pretty much are at. So once that gets over a certain temperature, it will turn off, which it did twice on us. Seems okay. The case is still pretty good. There's no real things of warping on it. So the ABS is holding strong. Yeah, that's the drum area where it has the drivers in. So there, yeah. So we got to figure out, I just got to figure a better way of cooling it. So I'm going to try what he said. I'm going to put a fan on this side. And then maybe have the air come out so it kind of goes from here to there. But I think I need to get a better fan here because this ain't doing shit. It's blowing on and it's still hot. Well, hot to touch. Okay, we'll try that next. So I'll make a little fan and I'll use a little bit of magnets and some fans. I'll connect it to there. But the thing is the regular jump motor that we have, the stock one, it still works fine. So I'm almost considering just cooling off the stupid other motor, because I really think that's the only issue that's happening, is that motor is overheating. Because right now this one's outperforming it. This does like back-to-back roasts, where this one is just soaking up the heat and then stopping at 90 degrees Celsius. Or even a little bit past 90 degrees. Back to the drawing board. Heatsink didn't do much of anything. I thought it was, but it needs a fan for it to work properly. And that's why they put the, in the V2, they put the fan right underneath, right there. And I was always wondering why they would do that. And it's because it's cooling off the driver. Because that's the whole reason why it stays on, is if that's cooled. And if that's not cool and it detects that it's a little bit too hot, it will shut everything down. So right now the fan set up like that. There's only one fan set up like that. I thought that would have been enough, but maybe it needs a little bit more. But impressively enough, this is doing fine. It's not melted. That's ASA, I think, so. So at least I know ASA cases will work pretty well. I think someone used PETG and it melted a little bit. And I think someone used PLA. I'm pretty sure that was the Madhouse when they used that, so. Okay. Oh, and then I don't have the standard power supply. I'm using the Kaleido power supply. Very similar. And that's because the original power supply only does like 20 to 25 watts or something. Where this one's up to 90. Hi, Remix. Had a very interesting stream. I found out that this motor is really a trooper. Like, I don't get it. This outperformed the brushless one. And I think the only reason why the brushless one works on the V2 is because how they have the fan set up right underneath the body of the black body of the drum. Right, the black body of the motor. Where's I know I have one somewhere. Now we're all just kind of coming up ways with trying to cool it off. This fan's not really doing too much. I don't think I might have not picked the greatest fan. I thought it was a Delta. I thought it would have worked fine. I can't get any bigger. That's a 4010 fan. If I get any bigger, it's going to touch the back wall of the Skywalker. Here's what it kind of looks like inside. But yes, this 3D printed case actually held up back there. I might have to get like a, if that's a 4020, maybe if I get a 4030, then everything gets so much more custom and it's, I don't know. The thing is I have to pull air from here because the air is coming out of the vents through here. If I get any bigger, then it's only going to come out of here and I'm just recirculating hot air into the back chamber. I did put the heatsink on here and it didn't do anything. Probably because there's not enough airflow. Hmm. That's the thing. I want to make, when I do the design or anything I do on here, I try to do it to the point where I'm spending the least amount of money or I'm using the same stuff that came with the roaster originally. So this is the same kind of size of fan that, that comes off of the filter fan. And I already tried putting a heatsink on here with the fan directly, and it was kind of getting air out from here, and that was still overheating to a point. I think it still did better than this setup, where this is only really cooling off here. But this is the one getting the hottest, because like when I was using my definitely not mine. Someone asked me at the moment, what do you think is the best motor in mod and the easiest to do? Easiest is, I think the best, and I think what's his name? I forget his name. I think he's German, but he did a stepper. There's a stepper setup that would probably be the best if you can cool it off, because I've had stepper motors overheat when I was running a stepper motor setup, so that it's still possible. I honestly think if I could find a variant of this motor that's all metal, I think this might be our better bet. Yeah, easiest to do is nothing. This thing right here is actually doing a pretty good job. It's acrylic, yes. Right now, I think when we were doing belted setups, they were doing pretty good. But now I'm going back and I'm like, this thing really just, I don't know what it is about this thing. Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's the plastic gear. The plastic gear is like probably the biggest reason why it's not working. I wonder if they could find a variant where it had a metal gear, would it last longer? And I think if it was cooled, I might just do that. But then I still want it to go slower. But it can go slower if I use, they're called, I think they're DRV something. They're like, they slow down the speeds of brush motors. And you can buy those separately. And I was running one of those too. I still have one of those. Yeah. So like somebody said, the easiest to do is nothing. But this one still leaks oil when it gets too hot. And you can't exactly open this up and re-grease it. Well, you could re-grease it from here. From the back, there's like little back ports where you could use grease. But so yeah, there's still more testing to be done. As I feel like what I'm doing right now is I'm adding more things. I'm trying to cool something off and it's just not working. And this simplicity is just put the fan underneath this, and then that'll pull cold air from here, and that cold air will cool this off, and then it'll last longer. You won't be able to do back-to-back sessions like this motor can do. And the reason why it probably does back-to-back sessions really well is over time it gets hotter and then it slows down. And when it slows down, it's able to actually go that 50 RPMs that we're all trying to get, where this is at like 70 or something. Oh yeah, I still have some of that. I have these thin things of Micra, and then I actually have those carbon fiber blankets. When I was originally roasting inside, I put it around the drum so my kids wouldn't burn their hand. It actually worked pretty decently. Yeah. Falling hat pins, right? Metal Gear. The only reason is the heat. It will transfer to the motor, whatever we do, because the way that that it's coupled. Because it's literally just a 8mm D shaft double cut, goes right connected to the thing holding on to the drum. So of course that metal is going to transfer over. Yeah, that coupler is literally, it's going to transfer heat through that shaft. And that's more than likely the reason why that plastic gear gets really messed up over time, because it's literally the first thing that this shaft contacts. If you look at the way it's set up. How much can I blow? I don't know. I guess I could put like, I guess I could buffer it. I don't know. If you look at Kaleido, they actually do have like this micro sheet that's slotted in the back of the here. Ugh. And I think they do it to the V2 or M2s. Here's an M1. So they have this thick mica. I keep saying mica. And I think that's how they kind of prevent it from overheating everything else, especially around this area. But yeah, there's like this thick mica sheet that they put in between. And I think that helps prevent heat from like coming over. But you still have the coupler, and I think that's where a lot of the heat transfer is coming from to the motor, is that coupler. You use a ceramic sheet on yours? You. The old Kaleido playbook. Yeah, it's getting to the point where I'm just say, fuck it. We're going to take one of these kind of motors and we're just going to put it in here. Sometimes you just got to steal from Kaleido to make yourself better. The only thing is we don't have a lot of space. They keep their stuff all open. Did this melt? Is this still working? Yes, that's still working. All right. I think I'm just gonna, maybe I'll get a 30mm fan, put it underneath here and just did what they did and see if that cools it better. Right now, the plan is just add fans everywhere. So yeah, this is a fun little project. I should probably talk to Haha Sky. He actually puts a bigger motor on here, like a big one. and it still fits. The only other thing I can think of using is this same type of planetary gear and just drilling a hole through the back. Like I could easily get the plates at Set Kansen. I just do some measurements and then make a back plate for cutting it open. Yeah, so the search is still on for adding a new motor to this thing. Like, I guess I could just do it the same way that the V2 does, because obviously it's working better than this way. I just wish our back panels had those motor bumps that they do. That the V2s do. Some V2s have these little motor bumps because they were going to use a planetary stepper before, or planetary motor before. Planetary gearbox, let's say. So main focus is cool this off. This gets super hot. This stays super, it's okay. Maybe replace this fan with something a little more CFM. Yeah, cooling the motor side should be better than the gear side. I think that's exactly why they did it. I guess well, because then I have to figure a way to get all the wires out that way if I wanted to put a fan on there. Maybe the underside over here. See, this is where the community comes in. We come together and we try to spend more money on things. It's amazing. Just kidding, not more money, but not too much money. Can't we all just be happy roasting one roast at a time? Maybe it's the gearing of that motor. I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on this motor. Like, I keep shitting on it, but it still works really well. They even put it in the Q-bean and it still works fine. It actually stays at like 53 degrees Celsius. At the highest. No, 63 degrees Celsius is the highest they'll ever get. Back-to-back roast. I even set it to 100% for the whole roast, and that thing just stuck at 63 degrees Celsius. It helps that it doesn't have to rotate a drum that's twice the weight of the agitators. Okay, I shall focus on figuring out a way to cool this side again. I'm probably gonna just go back to what they were doing and put maybe a fan setup down here. I was tempted because this is 36 millimeter. Apparently it's a really common size in RC boats. And you could do like I think they use the same kind of motors or something, but you could do like a water cooled like CPU setup. Well, maybe we'll just do that. Like, fuck it. I'm gonna just go ahead and spend as much money as I would spending on this. Water cooled aluminum plates, yeah. I seen the. I've been all looking at them because they're custom, so I'm like, oh, I should go get one. I'm actually getting a CNC machine soon, so there might be a lot of stupidity going on pretty soon. Yeah, leak out and short everything. It already does that now. I could do it with this one. Actually, that's coming from the exhaust. But we're good. We could save it. I could fix her. Like a bad girlfriend. I could fix her. No, but honestly, I'm getting to the point where maybe I'm just going to find someone who could source me this motor at 50 RPM, all metal. That might be the way. But who knows? Leak and short everything. That's the one. I should make that, put that on a shirt. Shit, I need to go. All right. Well, thanks for joining me. I'm glad we figured out a lot of things. Mr. No One's on it again. Got a good idea for me to try out, and we'll keep at it. And we'll figure this out. Okay, maybe I'll put the fan back on here. Have another fan here. Because this is what I got. I'm going to focus on cooling this. That's all I'm going to do. I'm focused on cooling that. If that stays cool, then it won't shut off. That's the next goal. I think this is what I was only excited for this thing, was that I literally now have like a extra probe I could just put around places and use that for nerd stuff. I just always wanted like a little thing to see what the temperature's like wherever, and it's always on ET. So I could finally use ET for something. Maybe for my roast one day, who knows? All right, y'all. I better get out of here. Y'all take care. Thanks for joining. I had fun. It was great. We failed together, and that's how it should be. I'm just kidding. I will update everyone on something else, but I'll put like a build log for the bear probe. But yeah, let me know if there's anything else you want to ask me or concerned. Thanks. Bye.